It's okay.
Today it is with a heavy heart that I share with you that Choo Choo is officially closed. We didn't want to close our doors. This decision was made for us by our partners who intentionally kept us in the dark. Hard work, having a dream, and even running a profitable and thriving operation is not enough. Our small businesses are no match for toxic and biased systemic structures that can legally and quite easily dismiss everything we've worked so hard to build. The dinette was so personal for me and Johnny because it was our heart and soul. It was everything from the portraits to the painting to the floorboards. Like, we did everything. It's bittersweet at times when thinking about what happened at the dinette, but super excited to think about what is going to come about with Choo Choo Diner.
My time with Saturday Dinette was a learning curve. He introduced me to the city, introduced me to the trends, the neighbourhoods, the likes and dislikes of our guests. No one thought we could open up a little spot on the corner of Gerrard and Logan that didn't serve bacon, didn't have $5 brunches. So it was just the little things, it was the really minute things that set us apart from, I think, what other people were doing at that time.
I think the first thing that it comes to people's mind when they are, I guess, enticed to come to Choo Choo Diner, because they immediately just assume, well, if it's a Suzanne Barr project, then it must be similar to what we did at the dinette. I never want to, not give someone the same idea or concept that we're not coming from that same space of love and compassion and excitement and comfort of the food that we produced then. But I do want people to just, be on the ride with our evolution.
We're in between downtown and Corktown. You're meant to do certain things a certain way down here, but we kind of tried that, we thought about it, and it's not us. So the moment you're not honest with yourself in terms of what you want to put on a plate, how you want to treat your guests, what your staff expectations are, you failed already. And so this is us exposed.
Power for this, 15 amp. Yeah. But I'm gonna ask him about this for sure to make sure, but that one is just gas.
So how do I get that money back? Do I get it off the plumber? Do I get it from you guys? Well, it's obvious, it's here. Yeah, all you gotta do is come have a look, and he said none of the work is done. I just don't understand how it works that you can give a contractor money for work that has not been paid, for work that has not been paid, finished. So no one checked. So we just got our stamp out, he entered on an invoice, and we're like, hey, let's just give these people money because they sent in a piece of paper with money on it. I guess people are upset that I brought in my own people to do the job. But at the end of the day, this plumber was, let me put it nicely, he was shy at what he did. We can do all those all together when we do all the rest of the touch-ups, right?
Yeah, do it all at once. Yeah.
I'm also going to say that week for the toilets as well, because I've got to order some stuff and all that. So let's just, and I'm kind of trying to see about this wallpaper thing in there. I don't know if you get it, what she's trying to do, but
Hide the holes in the wall.
Yeah, that's all I see.
That's it.
When we were asked to come down to Choo Choo Pizza, through a friend that said that, hey, we got a friend that owns a pizza place and just need some help with the menu. We walk in and our eyes just opened. Thought, wow, what an amazing space. This place has got character, it's got soul. And we're like, sure, this is what the operator needs. I need help with the pizza. But at the same time, we're in our minds plotting and scheming, realizing that this space should be more than what it is.
Out of that conversation came our meeting where, you know, our partners were basically like, this is perfect. This is exactly what we would love to see happen. This concept of it becoming a diner. And let's see what that could be for the space. And instead of you being a consultant, we want you to be a part of the whole project in itself. We want you to be our partners.
Just because his business card says commercial, it doesn't mean he knows how to do commercial, and he definitely doesn't know how to do restaurants. As we're about to seal up the wall, we find that he has not even connected pipes. Like, this is apprentice 101 stuff that he was able to complete. That's why I fired him.
Delays are a natural state of it. You have to utilize that time to your advantage and not look at it as such a negative. You kind of got to look at it as like, okay, this is giving me more time to test the recipes, create some new relationships with new purveyors, train the staff, take a staff trip, maybe do a workshop on my own on something that I feel like I'm lacking experiencing on.
So we wanted to incorporate the love of diners in our design. Let's just say the contractors will go one way and then I'll be behind them going another way and moving it towards how we wanted it to finally look and visage, whilst respecting the building and its history and certain aspects of what it is. I need between you, the property manager, the accountant, the senior CEO, whoever you need to find to get this money back and put it back into our account. My margins are tight enough as it is, let alone me just giving away $13,000 to some random plumber who doesn't know what he's doing. Thank you.
I just recently was interviewed and someone said that I was the queen of comfort food. And you know, at first I was like, is that a good thing? And I stopped myself. I said, yeah, it's a great thing. You know, like, it's not a negative connotation to really embrace a type of cuisine for me that brings up nostalgia. So if I could say what our mission, our intent is for Choo Choo Diner, is to create a safe space that honors the comforts of food, that honors our staff, our purveyors, our community that we're creating here, and creating a memorable experience every time that someone comes in that transports you back to your grandmother's kitchen, your parents' kitchen, or your own home kitchen.
I think the first one was just wanting to get into the work field, and something that it sounded like something that she actually could learn and do. She does freelance on her own as well for makeup. And then the lady that we just met with, she was in banking for 14 years. Minus again, there's one person yesterday that I don't feel innately comfortable with.
Okay.
But I think that individual aside, I think everyone else would there would be a synergy. The individual comes with great experience, very educated. There was just something that I felt was gonna, not just us not connect with that person, but I felt like this might not be the right place for them. I just had a sense that the idea of being front of house is a quick cash grab.
Got it.
And that's not necessarily what we're building.
When we initially thought about what does Choo Choo Diner staff look like, I think it was kind of similar to what we did with Saturday Dinette. I am a big advocate for hiring those with little to no experience and giving them an opportunity to learn skills within the trade, within this industry, so that will better them in their life within this particular industry.
So far, I think out of 9, 10, 11, we're at like 10 out of 11 that we like and could see moving forward.
Okay.
You enjoy your day off. I will be sitting here.
Thank you guys for coming in, one for your first initial interview, meeting with Stacey and Johnny, and thank you for coming today. All right, guys, come on in. Everybody come in. There's lots of space. Who has watched the show Chopped before? So the objective with Chopped is you're given a mystery box. So it's a box of ingredients. You're giving a time
activity to be able to create something. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not judging you on this isn't right, but I'm just judging you on how you guys work together as a collective to create something that could be a really wonderful dish. It's exactly 9:32. You guys have 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Go. So the good challenge about this is the understanding about how to write a recipe. But now, after I've reviewed it, I'm gonna actually ask you guys to take it home, and I want you guys to actually make it. Make it at home, and then take a picture and send it to us. Let me just take a look at it.
Take a picture as well, and I can email it to everyone too, just in case.
It's a beautiful thing that you guys worked so well together today. You really, really looked out for each other. You were quick on your feet. You were thinking on your feet constantly, and you've given us a beautiful display and a wonderful selection of offerings. From the first side, additionally, is that the chicken looks cooked, which is great. Really important, making sure that your chicken was cut down to size, so it's easy for cooking. You guys didn't really plan this, but it really is interesting how everyone kind of created something similar, but not. Similar, but not. I will say I was really, really impressed with Rula. She really kind of took the team lead. You know, I said to them in the very beginning, I said, you know, you guys are going to work as a team of 5. And I think in this situation, you guys might want to have a team leader, but I'm not going to decide that. I'm going to allow you guys the freedom to make that choice. And I think she naturally just slid into that, and everybody went with it. The 3 groups did fantastic. We had really 3 really fantastic meals. Did Johnny show you guys how to use the machine?
Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Rundown, so.
Okay, perfect. So I'll have you guys do that. I'm just going to make some notes and then just come in together when you guys are done, okay? I absolutely love and praise soul food. When we put grits on the menu at the dinette, it was like, oh no, y'all gonna eat grits, which ties me right back to the point of why I say to any young cook in my kitchen, like, make sure you can identify with the food on the plate that you're putting down, and that a piece of you is on that plate and how important it is. Being a woman of color in the South, but being a Caribbean woman of color in the South was always a little challenging for me growing up, because it was trying to find my identity amongst others that looked like me, but others that culturally we were very different. But not so different as I get older now and I look at what people were eating in certain eras and what we were doing and why we were eating certain foods, how we found our identity in kitchens, and to be able to find the parallel worlds of what we ate then and what we're eating now. You could hear the trees, you know, talking about what happened back then. You felt it in the soil and the earth. I think most individuals have that pride, but they also are conflicted with like this understanding of like it's fucked up shit happened in the South. My family fought and died and struggled and survived in the South. Does the South represent me? Does the South recognize me as being represented down there? The struggle between identifying with something that you hate, but you have so much pride and belief in. And I think I really found myself in the South. I found my voice of understanding being a Black woman growing up in the South, and it really has given me so much, but also knowing this rich Caribbean culture and the diasporas that make up the Caribbean and what that adds to it. So it's a lot of stuff in my pot that's stirring.
Well, never seen two men pushing a gelato machine on a street car? Fucking gelato machine. As long as no one steals it. No, I'm kidding. Is that the dishwasher? It goes into the bar. There's room there for it. Oh, leg lift.
Here, I think that's the only way.
Yeah, good idea.
Fucking thing. You just turn it and then flip it again.
Yeah, wait, don't go. Yeah, stop, Rico.
It's the wrong color. Send it back. Wrong color.
Who's ever been a part of the opening of a new restaurant? So you're used to all of this, the sawdust, the unwiped countertops. I think the real and the most important thing to always think about when opening a restaurant is you have to find that perseverance. You gotta find the reason why you're doing this. This isn't like an internal thing that myself, Stacy, and Johnny and the team would go through. We are all going through it together. We're all figuring out, we're all fielding questions that are coming in from guests that are like, do you have a kids menu? Where's the bathroom? Where do I go to do this? How do I pay? I want to take out. Where do I pick up my food? So it's constantly having to ready yourself.
There wasn't a plan for me in terms of ending up in the restaurant business. As a young Greek kid in Australia, you supported the family. So if my dad needed me in the restaurant to clean tables, to drop off food, I did it. And I'm not talking at 16 or 17 years of age. I'm talking, I'm an 8-year-old with a fake bow tie clip on and people putting notes of $20 in my pocket as a tip. My dad had these plans for me to take over the family business, the restaurant, but I didn't want a hand-me-down. I kind of wanted to make it on my own. So I said no to him, which was the hardest thing and probably the craziest thing, because he had a plan for me. And when that plan did not work out his way, love animosity. It's probably taken the last, I think, 5 or 6 years for him to really understand why I made that choice and for him to say, all right, you did okay. The tough love mentality, I wasn't a stranger to that because I would get it every day of my life from my dad working in a restaurant. I will see him abuse. Let me rephrase that word, not abuse, but teach. It's just an old school mentality. And I think that was in my blood, in my system. It was ingrained in me for years, being a manager and an owner. And it wasn't until recently that I had to change. And it took me a minute to get to that point because you're used to doing something for 30 years. You're used to yelling and screaming and being forceful. And it is just a measure of tough love. You want people to succeed.
So the menu that you guys have in front of you has been a menu that Johnny and myself have been working on for, gosh, maybe it feels like a good 6-7 months now. What we are looking to achieve here is to take that word diner and give it a bit of up-to-date, present-day, modern appeal, but also focus on one of the most important things as a chef and anybody working in the food industry in the back of the house is your ingredients. Starting with a raw ingredient and being able then to work with yourselves to give you guys the skills and the techniques to then take those ingredients, then transform them into this incredible dish, then to plate that dish, and then to present it to the guest in front of us, right? And that's the one thing I always say is like with any of your dishes, make it work. Make it work, make it feel like it's authentic and true to you. I'm a big advocate for the fact that skills used from one particular industry are transferable. Transferable skills are the best. When we work with certain organizations, it's really important that we explain to them like we're a complete program. Our process of hiring is coupled with training, that's coupled with education, that's also coupled with them having a sense of drive. You know, it's one thing to hire someone because they're looking to get hired, but we also look out for the individuals that are hungry, that are passionate, that are driven, and that aren't just looking for a job to make the ends meet and to just make money. Now, there's a whole other side to our hiring intention, which is the front of the house, which comes from Johnny's expertise as well as our front of the house manager, Stacy, who have their whole background of experience that brings it to a very complete process of what we think will make someone feel well-rounded. If you understand what happens in the back, you're only going to achieve as much as you can imagine with that understanding. And then if you have the understanding of what happens in the front, you'll have an understanding of what happens in the back and how much we support and need each other.
Hello everyone, my name is Rula. I'm from the United States of me, because I'm literally from everywhere, live kind of everywhere. And I'm a humanitarian, and no, I don't eat human, that's
The idea of hiring and paying individuals a living wage is not just hiring and paying people based on their experience. Having the same expectations and the demand on these particular individuals, and then recognizing that, is that really fair? And is that fair and just? Because ultimately we want individuals that want to be here and that feel like they're a part of this and that we see their worth and that they know their own worth. With this concept of paying a same salary across the board, it has given us an understanding of really like we all carry the weight of responsibility. Paying one person a certain amount of a salary versus someone that's getting an hourly rate, like they tend to get used a bit more. And we're not trying to burn anyone out because we know this industry will burn you out. But what we are trying to do is trying to create something that maybe it might work, it might not work, but we're just trying to do something a little different here. You better yet.
Daddy said I can come up here.
No, we're almost done. Milesy was a week late. I was like, okay, I still have to be here because I still have to make meatballs. And so I literally had gone to see my midwife, and I walked home from my midwife appointment, got to the restaurant, and they said, "Chef, we need fish balls." Making fish balls, and then it just started, and I was like, that is not fucking just a cramp. That is like something more. Got home, and within like maybe at 45 minutes, I was in full active labor. So I was cooking literally up until the day I went into labor. When he was an infant, when he was a newborn, it was quite convenient because literally in between tickets coming in, I can nurse him and then I can put him down and he'd sleep and then I'd jump back on the line and I'd take a couple tickets. at the dinette. You know, bringing him to work is wonderful. I love the idea of bringing your kid to work, but it was also very challenging because he just wanted to be next to mama. And I was like, I need to cook 20 pounds of mussels. I cannot be next to you right now. You know, you sacrifice for the sake of the realities of it being a family business, but he needs one of us. So he'll always have one of us. If it's not necessarily both of us always, he'll always have one of us always in his life.
He's been great because he's taken it all in his stride. He would tell his daycare teachers that, I'm not eating that. There's not enough sauce. You know, his mum's a chef and he would literally not eat his lunch at daycare because he doesn't like the taste of it. He'll taste his food before he eats it. So part of learning and part of being a social aspect, it's amazing. He's around people every day from different walks of life and so forth, and the staff know him and they know that he's part of this business. He's an asset in so many ways, and the guests love him, and he makes you get to that next level.
Yeah, he's gonna, you know, like whatever develops for him food-wise, I just want him to love, you know, just love and appreciate food and the work that it goes into making it. And he loves to cook, and he cooks with me now. The growth that I've seen on all of them has been amazing and inspiring. Like, they inspire me because you guys are just like, you're committed. Not just because you show up. Showing up is fucking one thing, but showing up and caring and being here and being driven, that is my proudest moment. You know, we were a very tight crew. We had, you know, some people had left our team, but then we had really nestled into a really core group of us that felt so excited and committed. It was a hard, you know, Zoom call, and, you know, Miles was there with us because clearly Miles is a part of everyone's life. And, you know, he kept remarking that day, our last day, of how sad he was that this restaurant wasn't going to be our restaurant anymore, and that why would someone do that? The reaction was in a simple, very simple email, basically stating that at this time, unfortunately, we've decided that a restaurant does not fit the desires of our real estate company within this space. You know, I remember reading that and like literally kind of gasping for air, like, hold on, wait, what did you just say? And then it was followed up with a statement that basically was, if you're interested in continuing to work with us, please submit a business plan. As if we were just some random folks. As if we were just like, this is a great space, we'd love to come in and do a project. Like, we had been in here for almost 18 months working and building, and we had conversations, we had dinner with you and your family, and now we are just treated like any old person off the street that would need to present a business plan. Rightfully so, I understand that, but rightfully so, I also understand as what is fair, and what you just did was absolutely shitty and absolutely on some fundamental basics of power and money and the struggle that we still see that is rooted in racism. Followed up with within the email, you know, due to COVID, you have to understand there's not much of a future for restaurants in this. Are you sure about that? We were ready, we were willing, we had secured funding. We've even told our team that, guys, True True is gonna be obsolete, but we were going to continue to run it on our own accord with funding that we have found, and that we would find additional funding to keep us going. And it wasn't even given, an option wasn't even given to us. When we were in the very beginning months of COVID, whether that was April or May, remember specifically having conversations with our partners saying, make sure you look into the benefits that the government is offering for small businesses, also the stipends for pay deductions and such like that. Oh yeah, we've looked into that. We're applying for all of them. Okay, great. Thinking that, yeah, that would be us as a business. Thinking that that is us as True True. Thinking that that was us as partners.
True True Diner before us was True True Pizza. As his business and that brand and that concept failed, and then Suzanne comes into the picture. Female, black, strong, entrepreneur with a soul. Not just soul food, but with a soul in everything she put in. How she led from the front, how she taught everybody to care about everything you do, the hard work involved. When that became evident in the day-to-day operations and the success was coming through, that was not appreciated. To a point of shushing Suzanne during board meetings, telling her to be quiet, that she has no place in this, that you were just hired just to be the face and to just cook.
He told me to be quiet a few times, to not be so emotional, to, yeah, it was kind of, you know, being a black woman, it was kind of like, wait, what just happened? And that is where, in a moment where I do regret that I didn't stop and think, this is time for me to exit left now.
We had a responsibility to our staff, to the business that we started. So we went on with it and we're like, okay, over time this will change because the monetary success does come through. It's a result of the work you put in, and it was coming through.
What about you guys? Like, you know, as a family, just, you know, the three of you, when you know, the days following, you know, when you took down the pictures, like, what was that like for you guys?
Surreal, numb. It was, I think we were so nervous about how to approach the next steps. How do we tell people what's happened? We were scared. I remember that night of releasing the press statement on Instagram, and just this fear, this nervousness. But then we know who we are, and we, like, hell no, we're jumping into this. So we put it out there and we owned it. And it's like, we're not gonna let anybody tell us how to feel or how to control us or have that sense of scarcity. So we owned it.
Last fall, after months of hard work, excitement, and anticipation, we opened the doors to True True Diner. It became a go-to for people looking for familiar vibes, offering fresh and soulful comfort food. It became a safe place for so many of my staff who are newcomers to this country, as this was their first job in Canada, and who have now become my family. It was a hub where we celebrated and lifted Black chefs and others who deserve to be seen. We chose to open a diner to honor the civil rights sit-ins that happened in diners across North America and helped shape Black history. Although True True is closed, this is just the beginning. The truth will never be closed. Thank you.